Marcel Boutique in downtown Haddonfield. I'm tickled pink to be here. I don't really have a plan. Ken actually walked into my boutique a few weeks ago and introduced the Reimagine Runnymede program to me. And I just thought that it was so exciting. You know, whenever you get um, a business owner who is passionate about what they're doing, what service they're providing, what product they're selling, and they're sort of pouring, you know, you're pouring your heart and your soul and all of your being into this. It's gratifying when someone comes in and says, "I think you're doing a wonderful job," and I recognize the effort that you're putting forth, and I'd like you to come and tell some other people about it too. So. Um, a little bit about Maison Marcel, if you'll indulge me for a moment. We are a resale boutique. I do not do consignment. I purchase everything at Maison Marcel. We travel to Paris 3 or 4 times a year. We curate a collection. We bring it back to Haddonfield. We have a little bit of something for everything in our boutique. We style folks size 00 through 5X. The experience should be for everyone. So some things in the shop are brand new with tags. Some things in the shop are authentically vintage. The only rule ever be that I love it and would wear it. If I wouldn't wear it, it doesn't come to the boutique. So we have a full-size basement downstairs that we affectionately call the vault. There's always a smile if it comes up from the vault. It seems that feels to our clients like it was a bit of a more coveted piece that we had to go downstairs for it. But the reality is that we can't go to Paris every week, so we bring back a lot of things and we store it downstairs. We do private shopping appointments at Maison Marcel where we speak with our client about what sort of occasion she's got and how he or she would like to look and feel at this event. And then we go to work and try to make our clients feel and look the best they've ever looked and felt. So it is an experience from the moment that you walk in the door to the moment that you walk out. We're always real excited. The front of Maison Marcel is we're not just a Parisian inspired boutique. We're very sort of Marie Antoinette and Versailles inspired. You won't find any Eiffel Towers or pink poodles, black and white polka dots. There's none of that kind of stuff going on. There's jacquard fabrics and tassels on everything that will hang. And it's gold, gold, gold as far as the eye can see. So when you step into Maison Marcel, you will always be greeted with a bonjour, madame, bonsoir, monsieur, bienvenue, welcome to Maison Marcel. We'll let you walk through. There's literally a divider in the middle of the store where the floor changes from the cement tile to the hardwood floor. Once you get to that point, we will ask, were you looking for something special this evening, madam? If you are, that's wonderful. If you're not, that's fine too. We offer our clients a little un petit apple brandy, French apple brandy, as they walk through the store so that they are having, or at least feel like they're having a full Parisian boutique experience. The goal is just to deliver that, a Parisian boutique experience. If they buy something, that's wonderful. If they've just come in and had the experience and return to us when they have an event, a special occasion, are looking for a very special gift, then our job is done also. Um, we're in downtown Haddonfield. It's blessed to be there. When I was retiring from my 35-year marketing job to open a 6-day-a-week boutique, who retires from a job and gives herself a 6-day-a-week job, I have no idea, but okay, that would be me. Um, I shop in Haddonfield, and so there was really no other place that I was looking to open this vision of a Parisian boutique experience that I had. And it also, you know, in downtown Haddonfield, it's become quite a destination for resale shopping. There are consignment shops there. There are resale shops there doing jewelry and shoes and every sort of thing. So people who are into sustainable clothing and resale shopping don't want to come somewhere maybe where there's just one of the shops that they'd like to visit. So together we collectively make a destination, which is wonderful. And we all work very closely with one another. I might sell you the dress, send you across the street to the Lavish Loft for the shoe, send you down to Pure Couture for the bag. And together, we're all taking photos of you and Instagramming you and making you an immediate downtown Haddonfield celebrity in this wonderful outfit that you're going to wear to a gala or a prom or a whatever it is. Um, Benefit, obviously, to us in that is if I take a photo of you in a beautiful dress and I post that on Instagram, you're probably going to share it. And so now all of the people that you are connected to will maybe want to be connected to me also, or at least will take a look. Um, that's kind of it. That's what we do. That's what we do. Oh, it's Maison, Maison. No worries, no worries. Thank you. Oh, you're very kind. So my window is I have a very contentious relationship with that window. That thing is the bane of my existence. It is big. It was almost the reason that I didn't choose the location that I chose because it is a big window sort of on a platform. And when I first sort of looked at it, I thought, well, that's just a bunch of unusable space that I'm just going to have to fill with mannequins and things. It turns out that awkward window, that strange part of the boutique, has been a real blessing. We change it once a month. It's always themed. It's interactive in that it's got a monitor in it that's always showing the movie or the reel or the clip of something that's telling why the mannequins are dressed the way that they're dressed at the time. We just did it Thursday of last week, I think. The girls hate it. We all need Advil when it's all done. We climb in and out of that window 500 times. Our knees are bruised. We are a hot mess. HAUTE, mess, when we get home. But the window is loads of fun. And if we had a dime for every time someone said, I came in because your window looked real interesting, I probably wouldn't have to show up anymore. But it is an opportunity, your window, to, as Jaime said, tell your story. So when you come to Maison Marcel, you're sort of greeted by this not very big window, but um, very imposing window. There are French tassels hanging on it, and you're just sort of looking, thinking, what is this? Sometimes there's a mannequin and it's spinning, it's moving. Sometimes there are lights that are spinning and like projecting out onto the street. Sometimes we have a harpist in there playing the harp. There's always something happening and moving inside of the window to, we hope, want to invite you to come in. And all I need you to do is step into the door. And when you walk in, the French music is playing. At the very front of the boutique, we have a huge antique vintage winged French chair with a little cushion on the inside that says Le Husband Chair. So when you walk in, that husband that you've been dragging up and down all of the streets with you all day, and he's not going to let you look at another dress. He might let you hang out for a minute if I put him in the husband chair. I offer him un petit calvados this afternoon, monsieur. I give him a little French apple brandy. I put him in a comfortable chair. I let him check his stocks. I let him check the Phillies score. Then I might be able to have her attention for a few minutes, and we might be able to get her in a dress, right? The To Jaime's point of not sort of defining all of those things or planning all of those things, that chair, when I purchased it, actually was intended to go into our fitting room. It was one of the first things that I bought when I signed the lease. But it's huge, and it turns out that it didn't fit there. And so, as we were designing the boutique and things were moving, it just kept coming closer and closer and closer and closer to the front. And it was literally the day of the grand opening, and the friends and family that I had with me that had been helping me to get this place up and running said, what are you going to do with this great big chair? And I said, just leave it there. We do have sort of a flow. It's deliberate, it's intentional. It is guiding you through what I want you to see and when I want you to see it. And to Jaime's point, they always take the exact same route every single time. Um, When we get you back to a fitting room, I've got specific staff. That's what they're there for. They're there for the fitting room experience. They don't actually zip you into a dress. That's my job. Nobody else will be in a fitting room with you but me. Um, but they're back there then refilling your brandy glass, making sure that your hands are empty in case there's anything else that you want to pick up, and beginning that fitting room experience and speaking to them in very small French phrases. That's making this all feel very, what the heck is going on here? I've never had a shopping experience like this before. Um, Once we bring you out of the fitting room, once you get to the register, there is another experience that awaits. We hope at that point, my team is specifically trained on how to package the pieces when they leave, because to Jaime's point, when my client gets home, I don't want them to take a wrinkled dress out of a tacky piece of tissue and realize that she just spent $300 on a dress that somebody else has already worn, because she'll never come back. So when you get to the register at Maison Marcel, your stuff is all packaged in beautiful toile paper. There's only one piece that goes in each bag. If you come into a resale boutique and you've spent that kind of money, $300, you probably want to walk out with more than one bag. Keeping in mind that that bag, as you're walking down the street through downtown Haddonfield, is advertising Maison Marcel for me. So, ladies, let's give them all the bags that they want. I want one thing in each bag, and I want pretty stickers on it, and I want a postcard that they can send to a friend on the inside, because I want the experience to continue when she gets home and she takes that dress that she felt like $1,000,000 in out of the bag. I want her to still feel and smell and taste Maison Marcel. Um, that's what we do. That's what we do. We're very particular about the details. I make my staff nuts, because every little thing does matter. It does matter what kind of glass we put this brandy in. It does matter what color these tassels are. It all matters. The tissue does matter, and sometimes we'll labor for 2-3 weeks at the holidays over what kind of packaging are we going to put things in through the holidays, and they're looking at me like, oh my God, pick a tissue already, you're making me insane. But it matters. All of these things matter. And we want our clients, who we affectionately refer to as Team Chic, hashtag Team Chic. We want them to know that we appreciate them. The reality is that Team Chic pays my mortgage. Team Chic pays for every trip that I take to Paris to go get more things to bring back. So no Team Chic, no Maison Marcel, no me. So it behooves me to make sure that every detail and every piece of that experience is specifically curated for them, and that it's unique to anything else. We have, um, I don't ever want people to I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm thinking to myself, oh gosh, another consignment shop is opening in Haddonfield. That's going to be problematic for me. It's not going to be problematic for me, because they're not going to do what I do. The more consignment shops in Haddonfield, the merrier. The more consignment shops in Haddonfield, the more we become a destination. They will never do what I do the way that I do it. So that in its sense is your branding, right? It has to come from your heart. It has to be part of who you are. You have to create it. You have to be able to take it and pick it up from where it is and put it somewhere else, and it still exists. So these are all of the things that happen in my mind when we're making the decisions about next steps, new product lines, new collections, new offerings. We do a French subscription box called the Maison Marcel Luxe box, because not everyone wants to wear the kind of madness that we sell at Maison Marcel. Not everyone is a frills up to the neck, fascinator, chartreuse shoe girl. But if you're a Francophile and you love anything French and Parisian, I'll drop. We say we deliver Paris to your doorstep. On the first day of each season, Paris gets delivered to your doorstep. You open it up. Every detail's been curated. We auto charge your credit card. And we have about 45 subscribers to the Lux Box. So it doesn't have to be clothes, right? We have a candle line that we sell that has been specifically curated, and the fragrances have been designed by me, and they all have a story. And one of them is called Rouville du Temple, which translates literally to the road of the old church. It happens to be the street that my Paris home away from home, as we refer to it. It's a hotel. My Paris home away from home, my hotel room happens to be on Rouville du Temple. But at the end of that road is a huge synagogue that's been there since the beginning of time. And when they're lighting the incense and burning all of the yummy things, you can smell your way back to the Hotel Couronne de Beaumarchais. And so we designed a candle that smells like that. And we're able to tell them the story about, our experiences in Paris. And they subscribe to it. They buy into it. And so those are all sort of the things that we put into the branding. Questions? I've sort of talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. Thank you. Yes. I spent 35 years in sales and marketing. My very first job right out of college was in pharmaceutical sales. I kind of aged out of that job, I think. That was a job in the late 80s, early 90s for real young girls with a whole lot of energy. And once I aged out of pharmaceutical sales, I started to work for a company, ADP, the payroll company. And I was literally up and down in elevators, walking up and down the street. Can I talk to the person who makes the decisions about your payroll? That was in, I'm going to date myself here, 1992 that I started with ADP. And I was there until I left in 2017 to open Maison Marcel. So sales, always sales, marketing, launching new products. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get the idea to have this whole concept of France in
I'm so glad you asked. I went into, so I ran away from home. I was in the middle of, so my career with ADP, I was in the middle of a quota year, right? ADP's fiscal year runs from the first day of July to the last day of June. I was sort of November going into year end. And for the first time in my entire career, my bosses came to me and said, your quota is going up by $2 million. I'm sorry, what? It's the middle of the year. You can't just raise the bar in the middle of the year. What exactly is happening here? So my quota went up, my blood pressure went up, my anxiety went up, everything went up. And I thought, I need to get out of here for a minute. I need to step away from all of this for a minute. So I went through year end because it's a very busy time. Payroll starts January 1, people's payroll start, right? So you don't take vacations when you're in that industry through the holidays. But sometime February-ish, I packed really warm pair of boots and a really big coat, and I went to Paris by myself. And I walked into this little boutique that I go into every single time that I go to Paris. It's called Marie, just Marie on the top. And when I walked in, there was this quirky little woman in the back, all of these really sort of strange things. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, but she popped her little head out and she said, "Bonjour, madame." And I said, "Bonjour, madame." And I sort of walked through and I looked and thought, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Look how she's got all of these things set up and laid out. And oh, it's so pretty in here. It just feels so nice in here. And I got up to the counter and she had this little tray and she had like these plastic acrylic rings. And I bought one for 35 euro. I've never had it on my finger. It wasn't my style. It wasn't my taste. I just wanted something from this place, right? And I walked out, and as I sort of stepped back on the street, I felt like I'd been like transported when I was in there. Like she took my head somewhere. She made me feel really good in a time when I wasn't feeling so great, right? I'm in Paris sulking a little bit, right, in the cold. And I thought, right, you could leave ADP, but if you know anybody that's ever worked for ADP or Paychex or any of those people or any of those companies, and you bleed it. It is who you are. It's part of your persona, right? And I thought, leave ADP and do what? It's what I do. It's who I am. Go where, do what. And I thought, well, I never married. I never had any kids. I didn't have to pay for college tuition. Got a nice savings in the bank. What if I could just figure something out to keep my car insurance paid and pay for some more trips to come back here to Paris until I'm 62? And I can start tapping into all the stuff that I've earned over the last 35 years that I've been working for ADP. And voila, madam, Maison Marcel. And my family said, you're absolutely insane. You never even worked in the mall. You've never taken a business class. You've completely lost your mind. Can I recommend that you like start a little website, but that you keep your eyes on the ball here and you figure out where you're going to get that extra $2 million from so that you can make your quota, so that you can keep your job? Can I recommend that you just stay a little focused over here? And that was, I came back from Paris at the end of February. I bought the very first dress that didn't fit me. That's a really strange experience, to go buy a dress that doesn't fit, right? I bought the very first dress that didn't fit me. It was so much fun because it was so cute. It was something that I would love to wear, but never am I getting in this size 4 dress. I went back, I bought another one, a size 6. I went back, I bought another dress. I bought shoes that didn't fit me. I bought bags for places I had nowhere to go until I literally had a living room full of clothes. And in August, I signed the lease in Haddonfield, and on October 17th, 2017, we had our friends and family opening, and on November 1st, I went to my boss and gave him my car keys and my laptop and said, thank you very much. I own a boutique in Haddonfield. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions, things that I can tell you anything about?
Did you post on your new window that you just had all that?
I did. It's up there. If you get to, if you, yes, if you, oh, where are we?
We've been watching your Instagram.
Oh, you have? Oh, fun. Oh, this is our Christmas packaging, right? I told you it's important, right? Oh, well, this.
He was flipping through while you were talking, so it was good to see a lot of the images, but I'd love to see the latest. I would love to see your window.
Okay, so if you go to, that's it.
Oh, beautiful.
That's it. So the chic is in the details. Be transported to a place where the palette of Versailles meets the elegance and intricacies of ancient Asian culture. In celebration of AAPI Heritage Month, we proudly present Chinoiserie Chic. Pop over, peek in, your Parisian experience awaits, Team Chic. So that's that's this month's window. And if you look down sort of in the bottom, down here it comes. Oh no, maybe I didn't film it low enough. That's where the little, well, you'll see it down here. See, this is a sort of a description of what it is, but this sits on top of a monitor that's kind of playing a reel. And the reel that we have playing in there this month, because I think it's fun, if you've ever seen the Marie Antoinette movie, and she has that shopping spree, and there's silks flying and hats flying and all sorts of fun things, and it's all pink and green and blue, and it sort of matches what's going on in that window. So at night, it's kind of fun because the lights twinkle, and we go home at 6 o'clock, but people in Haddonfield walk, right? So they're out with their dogs, they're out with their strollers, they're out with their kids, they're out doing whatever it is that they're doing. So I want the window to still be there, that every single day I come into the boutique, and at 11 o'clock in the morning, someone is calling the boutique and saying, I saw that little pink bag in your window. How much is it? Do you still have it? Can I send my husband or somebody to come and pick it up? So the window sort of is one of the staff, right? The window is working just as hard as we do. The window is selling also.
How many people do you have working for you?
We're a team of 6. Yeah.
And who trains them?
I do.
Are you there every day?
If I'm not there, the door's not open. When we go to Paris, we hang a sign on the door that says, gone to Paris to buy you a dress, and it's closed. I will leave to go get a cup of coffee. That's about as much as I'll do. Because the fitting room experience is mine. That's what I do. I'm the stylist. So my girls are wonderful, and they're all trained to know where to stand and what to say and when to offer the brandy and how to package the bags and all of those things. And they do a wonderful job. And none of Maison Marcel happens without them. They are essential. And I treat them as such, that they know how important they are, because if even one of them leaves, there's a whole upset in the apple cart. So I'm very blessed with wonderful girls who are happy to be there. We have a ball.
All right. How did you learn how to train your women the way you wanted them? What was your motivation to get them to do what you want them to do?
I,
How did you,
and what was your name, madam?
what?
What was your name?
I'm Eleanor Kelly.
Enchantée, Ms. Kelly. It's lovely to know you. Thank you. Um, it's a good question, Ms. Kelly, because I struggled with that in the beginning. So in my career, my sales career, I had a team, but they come to me trained. ADP sent them for $100,000 worth of training before they come to me, right? When they get to me, they know what to do. All I need you to be is motivated, know how to sell, and let's make this money. So training people turns out not really my forte. I'm not very good at it, as it turns out. So in the beginning, I had people that they didn't not work out. It didn't work out because I was not doing a very good job at setting the expectations, or maybe making them feel as valued. You know, you open a business, you're so stressed out every day, all day. You walk in there like somebody's wound you up in the back. You're like this all day long. I got to do this. Where's the brandy? Where's the, you're, and these girls are coming into work for $10 an hour, and they're like, peace out. You don't like the way I wrapped that in the tissue. You can wrap your own bags in your own tissue, right? So maybe it took me a minute to figure out that not everybody cares about this place as much as I do. But if you want them to care about this place as much as you do, you have to care about them too. So some life lessons. But I have a wonderful, wonderful team, and I feel I am very fortunate indeed, very fortunate indeed. For the first time, I took Luna. She's my lead sales associate. For the very first time, Luna came with me on a shopping buying trip. It was magic because now Luna understands what goes into this dress, because she got up at 4 o'clock in the morning in the cold to go out to these markets to go get this dress. She's looked at 150 of them with stains and rips and tears and pit marks and all sorts of ich. And I've said, no, 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 until she finds the one. And I say, okay, you're onto something now. Let's look at this one. And now we make love to this dress. We're looking at the seams. We're looking at everything. And yes, it gets a thumbs up. And she's doing a happy dance. I found one dress that she's going to say yes to and actually take home. But then she schleps it around all day in the cold. We stop and have a cup of coffee because we're freezing, and we go find more dresses. Then we get it all back to the hotel, and now we're packaging it and we're shipping it, and we're waiting like kids at Christmas time for the boxes to get back, and we open the boxes, and there's all these dresses and we're like, oh, remember this one? Oh, remember this one? Look how gorgeous this dress is. We're so excited. Now let's get it inventoried. Let's get it cleaned. Let's get it steamed. Let's get it tagged. Let's decide where in this boutique it's going to live. Let's get it on the floor. So now she has a whole different relationship with what's going on at Maison Marcel. So I feel blessed that I'm able to, it's not a matter of I didn't want to take anybody with me. It's a financial thing, right? I got to take you to Paris. It's expensive. I got to fly you to Paris. Can't take a team of 6. But if I take Luna, then maybe Luna is being a little bit more groomed that just maybe, eventually, I could take a weekend off. That maybe there is one person that knows as much about what's going on in here as I do and is able to do what I do well enough. It's a lot of trust. And I would rather you not walk in at all than you walk in and it just be a bunch of used dresses. And there's something to be said about a sign on the door that says, gone to Paris to buy you a dress. They love that. I was here last week. What? They're like waiting when you get back. Because they're like, what is it? She went to Paris? When is she coming back? I'm going to come and see what's going on here. So it's a good time. Then we throw a big party. We have collection launches. We invite Team Chic and MVPs, and we have special guest appearances and French food, French drink, harpists, all sorts of fun stuff, and we have a big celebration of a night. It's a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Very basic question. This is all beautiful stuff, but the monitor you put in your window, I tried that one time and the light. So I'm just curious, what monitor you're using? How do you keep it running? Turn off the brightness.
I'm assuming that there's nobody in here that's from ADP, right?
No, I don't think so.
That's ADP's monitor. It was my monitor that I had at home that never got returned. Not for any intentional reasons. I wasn't like, I'm not giving this back. I'm going to put this in my window, but I still had the monitor. If I'm completely honest, I have no idea how to do any of that. My mom worked for CSC, Computer Sciences Corporation, so she's a bit of a techie, and so I send my mom the clip, and I say, can you put this on a something? Can you make this so that I can stick it on that drive? And then it plays, but it does have to come. It's connected to a DVD player. I don't know if that answers any. There's like a little chest behind it that's got like a flower arrangement, but the flower arrangement stands on top of like a $50 DVD player. And then I've had somebody like rig it up with HDMI cables, that all I have to do is stand in front with the remote and hit the video that I want to show on it. But it has to come right up to the front of the glass. Otherwise, to your point, you can't see it. And it has to be something that you can see. Like one winter we tried to do, you know that Dr. Zhivago scene where they're riding through the snow, right? We did this winter white window, and I thought, oh, right, get Dr. Zhivago and what's her name in that big carriage riding. You just couldn't see it. It didn't work. So we had to change it. Sorry? So it is connected to a DVD, but the stick is plugged into the DVD. So it's one of those, what do they call that? A USB thing, right. So it all gets saved to the USB. That goes into the DVD player. I wish I could be more, I don't think I'm being very helpful to you in that, because it's not, and it, yeah.
Field trip to Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
Field trips with the screenshot and see like how everything is connected. I can certainly show you that, but that's another, like, I think important part of business ownership, right? Like you got to know what you're good at and what you're not. That's not my thing. So somebody else has got to do that for me. Training, not really my thing, but I had to get good at it. I'm sorry that I couldn't be more helpful to you. But I would like to invite all of you to come, and if you're in the area, come and visit us. We're open every day except Monday and Tuesday, and it would be mon plaisir to enjoy a little un petit apple brandy with each of you. Monsieur? 134 Kings Highway East. I am directly across the street from Passarello's. When you look at the Haddonfield map, I couldn't be in a better spot. I am literally that center star in the middle of the map. I'm smack in the middle of town. Pardon me? No, the pub is across the street and down a little bit. I'm halfway down. I'm about 6 doors down from the chip shop. Yeah, but I'm on the same side as the chip shop, which I quite enjoy because I'm actually not French, I'm British. I was born in Leicester, about 90 miles north of London. So I pop over there for a sausage roll more times than I should probably admit on a busy day. And what was that then? It's still a law firm up on the second floor. It's still owned by the same guy. Jack Van Dalen still owns the building. So 134 has been, before I got there, it was a Japanese pastry shop. I don't think she was there very long. Before that, it was a lingerie shop. I think she struggled a little bit. She had like bras and panties and things in the window. And if you know anything about Haddonfield, they went nuts. The kids are walking up and down the street, to and from school. People weren't real pleased about what was in the window. So we're very conscious of that. prior to that, it was part of, I think, the owl's tail. I think at one point had the whole 3 pieces. When I got there, the owl's tail was right next to me. And then they left, and Meraki Market came in. And then Meraki Market left and took a bigger space. And Jack said to me, "Do you want this whole space?" And I said to him, "Thank you, no. Parisian boutiques are not big. Everything in Paris is Euro sized. For me to go big dilutes the brand. I need to be in this tiny little itty bitty chocolate box. Everything is tiny, and so tiny is part of who we are. So we're not looking for, more space. You did. It's my happy place. We're on our way in September, Luna and I, and follow us on Instagram. We take you with us virtually.
The service industries, because I feel like they're at a disadvantage because they can't be as visually creative as other stores. So we have like Runnymede Plumbing and Heating, we have insurance, we've got financial planning. So as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, well, how could they tell a story with their storefronts? Like, can they, the first word that came to my mind were like the victories. Can they show their victories? Can they show like their before and afters? Is there a way for them to say, look, this is what this house looked like when that tragedy happened, and we came in and saved the day with our plumbing or heating, or, you know what I mean? When this thing happened, our insurance company was there to help get the family stuff, done, because I work with different things. This is how we saved money, this is how we helped. But like, if they have storefronts, how do they create a story? Are they creating a question or an answer? That was my other thing. Are you sort of creating a question where somebody's like, huh, what is that? Or, oh, I've been looking for that my whole life. You know what I mean? Especially, like I said, in the service. Like, Ken can be very visual, but again, he is a service and a product at times. So like, where would you go in a service industry when you've got a storefront, but you don't have these beautiful, creative, interesting things, but you still want the story told about what they do that helps our community?
There's several things that I can think of off the top of my head. Number one is there's several things that I can think of off the top of my head. Number one is there's always stories. So if you sit down with a plumber, a specific plumber that you are thinking of, and you ask about, I don't know, the most embarrassing moment of their life or on their work, or some heartwarming story that they might want to share or something, you can actually collect these stories and try to see if there's a way of staging those stories in a storefront. Sometimes service businesses will not have an actual storefront with a big window like Maison Marcel, for example. They will be a little bit more closed off. So the stories is a very good one. Another one is usually what happens is they are part of a more diverse street. So as you are walking, you will see the flower shop and you will see the coffee shop and you will see whatever, and then you will see the plumber. I distinctly remember a plumber's shop in Kingston, New York. And as you're walking, they have these plants that must be 30 years old. It looks like they haven't been touched for a very long time. Very lush, huge plants that are just there, and beautiful lettering outside, very artistic, that says plumber. There's nothing to it. No, Siri. There's nothing to it. It's just a way of him showing vegetation and the name, crafting the name well, bringing, maybe if it's a plumber, if it's someone who welds, if it's someone that can actually create something with pipes or metal plates or electrical cables or something that may be some sort of frame for the letters. Make it playful. Make it playful so when people are walking, they just saw the flower shops. Now they see this amazing, crazy creation with electrical cables and lights and stuff like that. And then they go to the coffee shop and then they go to the next. It just becomes part of the downtown experience. Not selling anything, not even advertising their service, just being a passive contribution to the overall experience of the downtown. I don't know if that
So
answers a little bit.
there's a realtor in Haddon Township that comes to mind. So you think insurance, right? Realtors, service industry people. They're called JFK Living. They are the lead realtor's initials, is JFK. JFK Living is on Haddon Ave in Haddon Township. They used to be part of the Weichert office in downtown Haddonfield, and then they branched out on their own. But they brand better than anyone I know. They've been off on their own for probably 2 years. They've got close to 10,000 Instagram followers. You know what they did? He used to bring everybody. Um, Jeremiah's mom, Jeremiah the J in JFK, Jeremiah's mom made sweet potato pies at Thanksgiving. And Jeremiah and his husband, Pip, would come to every shop on Haddon Ave with a gratitude pie and say, Happy Thanksgiving, safe travels to you, good times with your family. Just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to be here doing business with you. Can we take a picture, share on Instagram? They'd take a picture, you, your business, the pie, right? And post. And then we would share. And when somebody says, I'm new into town or I'm moving into town, do you have a realtor? Because these guys bring me pie. Right? So now I'm selling for them.
Yes.
They also, their motto really was, and genuinely, they never asked for anything. They just gave, 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 gave. They just showed up. Every time you had a party or an open house, they came. Hard work, right? It's hard work. But now they're huge, huge. And now we're trying to support them, right? Because now they are the big fish. They've got this big, what do they call those? Like fluorescent light things, that colorful fluorescent
Yeah, the
lights,
new
plug-in
yeah.
things. And it says like hashtag um, uh, you are home. I think it says you are home. I forget what the hashtag says, but it's in there like bright blue and bright pink branded color. And they make videos. It's always interactive. It's always a video. They made videos of our stores when they were first opening as part of their realty service. Hey, move to downtown Haddonfield. There's a French boutique here. Hey, move to downtown Haddonfield. There's a chip shop here. Hey, move to downtown Haddonfield. There's a brewery here. And they, that didn't cost them anything but time, just time. They worked so hard. And it's, now they're they feel like family, right? Because they are the guys that walked into all of our shops and we're invested in them and we're so excited to see them successful. And when we're at workshops, we're mentioning JFK Living to people because they have done a good job at what they do. And they sell houses like everybody else, probably 3 or 4 people in this room.
Jaime, I just wanted to get you to reiterate something that you said at the workshop in Atlantic City, and that was not to overlook just washing your window, power washing your sidewalk, that kind of, those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very small details that you would think that everyone does every day at all times, but it's always great to remind. Always, 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 every day if possible, clean your glass with a squeegee. Every day, not every day, every week, if possible, wash your sidewalk. Every half year, power wash the sidewalk. it takes very little effort to literally go out of your store and wash everything. It really shows a different level of care when you're doing this. The glass shines, your interaction with a shiny glass is very different from your interaction with a not so shiny, dusty glass. When it's shiny, when it's perfectly clean, you feel like it's more welcoming. So, yes, as much as you can do to keep it spotless, squeaky clean, the better it's going to be for the interaction with everyone who's walking outside. I don't know if that is what I said in Atlantic City, but if it's not, it's the sentiment stays. Is It takes little effort. Sometimes it takes a little bit more effort, but something to not be forgotten.
Like in a lot of our little towns, we have that little business district. So a lot of the buildings aren't connected. Like it's one building.
Huh.
You know what I mean? So it's already beige, brown, cream, yellow. You know what I mean? Like it's just there. So when you're redoing them, should the stores be looking to like really stand out? You know, go crazy with theirs so it does stand out? Or should it be more like, I want to stand out without insulting or looking ridiculous now amongst the stores that aren't shining? You know what I mean? Like, how do you find that happy place of standing out and being unique without ruining what could be a theme or maybe should be a theme?
If it should be a theme, maybe someone has the idea for it to be a theme. So you take your sweet potato pie next door and say, "Hey, what if we do this?" And you go to the next one and you know what? Be a good idea. Let's do this. And you keep going one by one and you raise the issue of let's make it a theme, right? Sometimes we have special improvement districts or business improvement districts who will actually try to do that. Sometimes they may or may not think that it's a good idea or even just think of it. And it takes one business owner to go and knock on the door of the bid and say, you know what would be a good idea? Let's do this. And then that conversation starts to go on. Usually, that is not a conversation that happens. It's very, very seldom that that conversation is part of the dialogue within a business district. But I think it would be extremely healthy because if we have at least the faintest idea of vision, then my contribution and your contribution are going to be like reciprocal gestures that we're doing and that's lifting everything up, right? How much do you want to stand out? Go crazy. It really, who is going to be the best judge of this is enough and I shouldn't do more is you, because you have a way of communicating with your customer. We have just seen little but very significant example of how you communicate with your customers, right? She's creating a language. She's creating a culture. Everybody,
Team Chic.
Team Chic. Everyone in Team Chic is is a part of the Maison Marcel story, right? It is. If she goes outside of where the Team Chic wants to be, it's going to affect the relation with the customers. So you don't. You study the customer, you look at your relationship with them, you may or may not take a faux pas at some point, but you have the knowledge and the relationship with the customers to take it back. So normally business owners have the sensibility, the sensitivity to say this is as far as I will go and will not be too much. So
And
go
you can
crazy.
ask them. You can ask
Yeah.
them. You can host contests and things. What color should we paint this building? So on our this last collection, this spring collection that we curated, we were all set to go to Paris, right? We are a French boutique. The thing that we ask about every single thing we do, is it French? 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 We went to London for the collection, right? So why did we go to London? Because I'm a diehard Vivienne Westwood fan, and she died on December 28th. When we were like, what are we going to do for spring? We were kind of here. We were like corsets and tutus, like mixy matchies, plaids and stripes. But what are we doing? And Vivienne Westwood was all of that, right? And it was a big deal in the fashion industry when she passed. And so after too many New Year's drinks on like January 2nd, I was like, we're going to go to London. I'm going to go see my aunties and, spend 3 or 4 days in England. And I'm going to curate a British collection. But I thought, French, you're going to, they're not going to get that. That's not going to translate. We literally sent out an email to Team Chic, all of the people who are subscribed. I invite you to go to our website, register with your email. The next time we have a question, we'll reach out to you. We sent it out to, I think we have about 6,000 people listed on our email address. And we said, I wrote a blog, what Vivienne Westwood meant to me, how she had impacted me and my love of fashion, and that I was considering paying homage to her with a trip to London to curate this collection, and that I was going to take Luna with me for the first time. And what do you guys think about that? Should we cast our net a little bit further, or should we stay in our Parisian spot? And unanimously, they were like, go to London, because I sold it to them, told them why I wanted to go. So they were totally invested at that point. Then we started doing like stories on Instagram. You can do a poll, and we were like, go big, go Paris, because London is three times the size, right? And we started telling them there are more vintage shops in London than in any other city in the world. As we started selling them why we were, and I literally did a video. It's on Instagram. You can see it. Why are we going to London? Because I thought there's still going to be people who don't get it, and it's not who we are. So you've got to, if you're going to make this move, you got to sell it. But it was a one-time thing. We'll never do it again. And we sold out of it. We brought it back, and everybody was so jazzed. They virtually go with us on these trips. We post videos, like we take pictures of each other sleeping. It's ridiculous. But we post this because they want to know, because the sign is on the door that you went to London to buy me a dress. So what the hell's going on in London? Well, here we are drinking a beer. Well, here we are at 4 o'clock in the morning looking like Who Shot John and why. And here we are on the big red bus. And here we are lost, like pictures of us with the map. We're like, what is going on here? And then they come in when we get back. How was London? Oh, I saw when you guys had the fish and chips. I saw when you went to the Eye. It was so exciting. I loved that. And they kind of forget that you didn't go to Paris. They kind of forget that you didn't go to Paris. And they don't care because you brought back really gorgeous dresses, and sold them on why you did it. Now, we'll never do that again. That was a one-time thing. But you can engage, we don't make a lot of moves without asking Team Chic what they want, because they pay my mortgage. Right, they pay my mortgage. So you don't want me to go to London? I'll go to London on my own time. You want me to go to Paris? We'll go to Paris. But they were into it. They were into it. So, and we feel grateful for that. And we tell them as much. And I sort of invited them into my auntie's house and said, much to her chagrin, because she hates all of that. British people are not into selfies, and they find all this vulgar stuff. And I was like, oh, but Auntie Jill, they want to know where I am. So come on, just one quick little thank you, guys. Thank you, Team Chic, for this time. I'm here with my auntie, and I'll be back to you as soon as I meet Luna in London. So you can ask them what color you want the building to be. They'll tell you.
So what I'd like to do, since I'm sort of the moderator of the discussion tonight, I know we have business owners in the room that have to get up early tomorrow morning. I want to stick to our timetable. So at this point, there's one very quick little survey that Marianne's going to take over for, and we're going to end the program now. But if you're interested in talking to either of our guests after our close, do that if they still have time. I want to give a big round of Applause to our.
You are a rock.
So, and there
I knew
are
you guys would be
snacks, so please,
incredible
if
together.
anyone
So.
wants to grab some
Crazy with this thing on. I feel like it's
All
really
right, everyone, so if we can just take potentially less than 2 minutes, some of you already know the drill, you can skip ahead as it were, like on this picture, if you know the answers. This is a survey that is a national survey that the Camden County Cultural and Heritage Commission is one of 400 community organizations that's participating in it. It's about the economic impact of cultural